hear
Yeah. Sorry.
him. Would you like to introduce our next guest? I
Jim Gum.
forget his
Gu-
name.
Oh, Jim Bumgardner is
That
here.
was the first time that happened.
Sorry, I got a little tongue slip there. And you do a daily news hour and amongst a host of other things and research and such. And so we're glad that you're here with us today.
I'm glad to be here, Ann.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, let's see. Dan said, come on the show, Jim. I said, okay. And here we are.
So what's the topic?
But you always have stuff to talk about.
Well, actually, yeah. First, right out of the gate, the big thing I want to talk about that I'm not too sure how many folks know about, but now I know a whole lot more are going to know about it, is there's I've got to say, huge promotion going on right now with Jerry Jackson
Oh,
Realty.
yeah.
Yes.
They are doing a holiday home makeover, and it's open to any homeowner. That's key. Got to be a homeowner in Boone County.
So it doesn't have to be a certain income level or anything.
No.
It is any homeowner.
Any
Okay.
homeowner, and that's mainly just because the way the world turns with all the legal stuffs and
Right.
insurance and
Okay.
things like that. But yeah, so it's if you've got
What's that encompass?
well, that's going to be the thing. It's really a matter of I don't want to get into any of the submissions we've seen so far, but like
Are
if
they,
you've
are they
got
asking what they are people saying what they want? Or?
well, okay. This is the easiest thing about it because the way you submit
Mhm.
is all they got to do is provide their name, their address, and why they or someone they nominate would like or appreciate a home makeover.
Oh, okay. So you can
Wow.
nominate
Okay.
someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's good.
and so it can go that way. And now when it comes to what will happen, it'll really be by whoever gets chosen. Because it could be something as simple as putting some new paint up and around,
Right.
changing out some decorations, changing out a carpet.
Carpet or- yeah.
But who knows? I mean, and then plus, of course, Jerry Jackson's group, the Friends Helping Friends, are going to take care of doing some exterior cleanups and things like that. They're good at that, boy.
Yeah,
I tell you
yeah.
what, he started that 3 years ago,
Yes.
and it's been amazing in the
So
neighborhoods.
basically, they'll look at the entries and say,
It's going to boil down to, and it's going to be tough because the ones that are coming in right now, great stories, great
Okay.
stories. I mean, from folks. Oh gosh, I don't want to give anything away. But folks who are needing a change because of a change in their own lives, and they need to kind of adjust from some memories that are there to kind of move forward. To other folks who are like, they're still seeing, the avocado green wallpaper and the shag carpet,
Right.
man. And it's like, we've got to fix this for them,
Right.
that type of thing. So it's just all fun. It's completely free. There's no registration, nothing like that.
Are you on one of the are you you're privy to some of this?
No, I'm privy to it. Yeah, I'm privy to a little of this information. But at the same time, we don't want to, one of the things when it comes to the contest is we don't want anyone to feel left out or slighted when it comes to, that's why none of this stuff is like, post your reason here. No. Because we
Yeah,
don't want anybody
this
to feel
is-
bad about it at all
Yeah.
if they don't win.
Not
Because
true.
it's for fun. And
Right.
it's just, and that's one of the coolest things about this. This is solely just to have some fun. And Jerry Jackson Realty and the whole gang out there, they do so much. And there's some other things they've got coming up just that they're participating in this holiday season. That's just really neat and admirable. It honestly is,
Okay.
and it's just cool stuff.
yeah,
Community people helping the community.
yeah,
Yes,
without
absolutely.
without any kind of ego and
Not
all
yeah.
involved with that.
Right.
Just doing it because there's a need.
Yeah, well, and in this instance, it's a fun need,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really what we're going for. Because I mean, it could be somebody who just has. Well, think about it like this: you get someone who does. Think about it like whenever you go to buy a new suit. Someone will go and get a new suit, but not get new shoes, so the whole ensemble doesn't look quite right.
Right.
So think of somebody who did do a nice little remodel and repaint in their living room and everything, but they still have that same
Right.
ugly old couch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this could be the opportunity they could get that fresh up on that couch.
Okay.
Anything is possible here.
So what do they do? Is there a place they go to fill out the
The easiest way to
application?
do, like I say, with those 3 points there, the name, address, and the reason why, there is an event page set up on Facebook, the Jerry Jackson Realty Holiday Home Makeover page. And then also you can go to Jerry Jackson's website, Jerry Jackson Realty's website, and just through the contact form there, or write it down on a piece of paper and take it to the Jerry
I was
Jackson
gonna say,
office
if
on
you
Main
don't
Street.
have
Yeah.
internet access for whatever reason, then just
Everybody's
take
wide
it
open.
Okay.
Yep.
Take it to them.
Very easy to do.
That's it. And in the event that any of those 3 methods get a little confusing, just contact anybody at Jerry Jackson Realty, and they'll get you pointed in the right
Okay.
direction.
Okay.
So there's that.
Wonderful.
So that's a fun thing. Let's see what else is going on. Of course, there's just so much neat stuff happening. We've been gosh, what has it been now, Dan? It's been about 3 months with the
Mhm.
morning show, and starting off at 6 o'clock in the morning because I was an idiot, and
Yeah. Whoa.
No,
But-
I watched it when I was awake.
yeah, well, yeah. See,
Yeah.
and that was at 6:59
Yeah.
for a
And
second.
it's nice to have your
Watched one
it's nice to have your phone, on a counter somewhere. You listen to it,
Yeah.
you hear what's going on, hear some of the featured spots that you do, and some of the information,
And
your
we've-
take on things.
And we've had some fun with it. We really have. And it's funny though, because now one of the things and one of the reasons why like a daily news program itself is kind of difficult around here is because there's really not a whole lot going on. Let's be honest here, other than a lot of the same circles and the same groups and same people. And that can get monotonous. But at the same time, I don't want anybody to forget what's happening at the Boone County Library or the Boone County Museum or the Chamber or what's happening downtown with the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But you don't want to beat somebody over the head with it.
Sure.
So we're playing with some different ideas and things like that. Now that
Yeah.
we've moved to 8 o'clock, this is great because we've got inside of that 8 o'clock hour, more people are awake and able to check it out. Plus, it's on demand after the fact. But another thing that was great about moving to the 8 o'clock hour is that, well, it didn't come without reason or merit because with Dale Hoffman coming in at 7 o'clock to do his live show at for Down on the Corner, this is huge. I mean, this is this whole thing that's happening with local television again.
Yeah.
It's what I told you months ago. It's coming back and it's growing. And thanks to Reynolds Media, yes, pat yourself on the back, especially Ian and Gil. You know it.
Yeah.
But it's like these things are becoming real again, and people are starting to catch on, and we're seeing these
People
these
like to know
responses.
about what's going on here.
Yes.
I mean, as well as world events, but still, here, that tends to get
Well, I
left out a bit.
Yeah,
So
and I
this is
think-
the perfect opportunity.
It does.
And I think that when you look at the way news is reported anymore, it's not it hasn't it's strayed away from fact based and more of
it's-
opinion based, and people get tired of that. They just
They do.
want the hard facts. They
Yeah.
just want to
We want to form our own opinion about that.
Yeah, and thinking about that, and it's so funny because that point right there, it's permeated through our entire culture now, all the way up to Congress. If you get a chance and you watch any of the Senate hearings that are going on right now, one of the things that jumped at me yesterday when I was just kind of watching these things is a lot of these senators or congressmen, whenever they're doing their grillings and everything, they're citing reports from like the Washington Post or CNN or this, that, and the other to like grill their particular subject. I'm thinking, now when did we get from, if you're doing an investigation or hearing, to where you're not getting your source from a law enforcement official or the Department of Justice? You're getting it from the media?
People get lazy. I
Yes,
think
they
it's
do.
part of the problem. They don't want to do the research, so
And
they
it
let
goes.
somebody else, no
Yeah.
matter who it is.
And now
their
think about how big all of those congressional staffs are.
Yeah.
They're huge. They got 1,000,001
They get-
people.
Yeah.
They should be
And-
they should be the source of the information instead of
Exactly.
the secondary source. I
Right.
mean, it's almost like going to a Mad magazine and quoting something.
It's
It
like,
just-
ooh, well, Al Jeffy drew you with a mustache. Why don't you have it now? You know, I mean, it's kooky like that, but it's true.
And you see that, we talk about Facebook and the positiveness of getting the word out, but then you see the negativism, and you can't put a positive comment on social media anymore without someone jumping in and making a negative
The cynicism
connotation.
is so
Why did
strong
you
these
say
days.
that? Or you have got to be kidding me, and
Right.
on and
That,
on.
as well as not being able to believe all that people would just share things on social media.
Oh yeah, quickly.
Without finding out the facts. And they're
It's-
sharing false information, and that's just because it's put before them.
Yes,
Because they're too lazy to
immediately.
go look
Yeah,
at it.
nobody will go a little bit further as to the
Right.
why or the how.
And then you do that, so that's good.
I do everything I can too, but then again, it's one of those things to where even on a local level, and this is where I've got to, I'll get on someone else's poo-poo list when I say this one, but truth be told, when you do have local issues that come up that can be spun around into a negative connotation when they're not, but they're just the news, you can look like you're a rabble rouser. I'm not a rabble rouser. I can care less about being a rabble rouser. The dance steps aren't fun. But we have an issue like with the city of Harrison right now in the Chamber of Commerce. They found themselves in a bit of a sticky wicket following a state audit with the current business license that's issued in the city because the chamber administers it. Well, come to find out from the state auditors, that's not legal. Yeah. So you've got a thing that's been on the books now for a little while, and they've got to figure this thing out what to do, because the business license itself has a very, very, very good and useful purpose
Yes.
on a lot of different levels. But the problem is, though, the way it's been administered has been deemed illegal, and the city is looking at what to do about it. But to bring that up in what used to be courteous conversation, you wind up running into a whole lot of people who think you're just dogging on one particular group. No, 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 no. This is the fact. And so, and to get people to give their opinion on that without going just mean and, hey, well, it wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have been an
Well,
idiot.
and no one says they knew what they were doing. You know, it's not like it's a deliberate act.
Right. Well, but now, okay, now here's that poo-poo list I'm going to get on to right now.
Uh-oh.
The thing is, though, is when it was drawn up originally as an ordinance, that's the responsibility of the city attorney.
Okay.
One could argue that it should have been caught, because it was very simple, that no outside entity can collect
Right.
receipts for the city. Slippery slope. What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it raises questions. And when you and take it from me, you ask a question in the wrong circles around here.
You're-
I've got 3 heads.
You've
Man.
been ousted.
Yes, it's
But
like,
they're in the process of rectifying and setting
oh, they're going to
things
fix
straight.
it. There's
yeah.
no doubt about
Right.
it. I mean,
Right.
that's the thing, because there was no malicious intent.
Right.
That's the biggest
That's,
thing. There
I
was
guess, what it
no
is.
malicious intent.
Mm.
But the next thing is also the exact same scenario with the dog license. But it's newer, so the auditors didn't look at that yet, but it will be. So they've got to go ahead and roll that thing back now, nip it in the bud.
Okay.
And then, because the veterinarians are the ones who are collecting that. Again, it's a slippery slope, but it's something that'll be rectified easy enough. But then
And it will be.
it will
so.
be. There's no doubt. I mean, again, because there's no malicious intent.
Right.
And then we've got another position open on the Harrison City Council with Alderman Brian Herring. He's decided to go and get all uppity and move out of the city limits in a new house. Whoa, that guy, I love him, so I can say that. But no, seriously, so and we just filled another Ward 2 Position 2 spot with David Wilson, who's now the city's first IT director. So now then that opened up that spot. He didn't have to leave the council, but just for the sake of any kind of
Yeah, yeah.
conflict,
Right.
he did. So now that position's been filled by John Oaf. So now he's there in Ward 2, Position 2, and then boom, along comes Brian's resignation. So now that, I do believe it's Ward 1, Position 1, now that one's open. So they've got to get that filled. And the
Right.
goal there is to have it filled by the December 28th meeting of the Harrison City
Mhm,
Council.
mhm.
So, I mean, there's a lot of activity, but again, it's another one of those things to where people, in general, don't really pay attention to what's happening inside of the city councils where they live.
Yeah.
Right.
But people will love to complain about something like the business license thing. It's only a matter of time before that rears its head and people start going nuts, trying to say it was malicious intent when it wasn't, and it never could be, and
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
never a reason.
Yeah. But everybody's got an opinion.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And they're normally wrong, but
So,
you know.
and that's some of the things that's covered on your morning show. You come in from 8 to 9, Monday through Friday, and I think you've been playing you've played the Harrison City Council meeting, and so to keep people up to date of what's going on
Well-
in Harrison. I think Dale Hoffman, he's more or less focused on the Mountain Home and surrounding broadcast area there, and you're
Well,
covering this area.
And considering the coverage area that is Reynolds Media's reach, I mean, we've got all of North Central Arkansas here. So for one person to try to cover all that, you would just die. You know,
Right.
there's not enough hours in the day and not enough money in the gas tank. However, though, Dale has done just a fantastic job on the radio for all these years.
Sure.
And then to translate that over to television and, of course, online, because being that live stream to Facebook every morning in conjunction with the live television show, that's fantastic. And then over here on this side of the planet, but again, it's one of those things, because I'm glad you brought up the city council that aired like this morning. And we were doing some tests because we were having some glitchy things, not because of here, but because of the world of Facebook, that we were trying to figure out and examine and find out why things were
They have
happening.
you flagged.
They don't like me. They don't like me at all.
They don't like. They don't,
Facebook doesn't like you.
They don't like me. I'm telling you, it's so funny. I don't know what I did and when I did it, but I would love to know, because apparently it's really good and I could probably market it and sell it. But for whatever reason, yeah, I had some issues where they were kicking off the live stream of the show. And I'm like, man, I didn't say anything bad about nobody or nothing. You know, it's like, what's going on here? So I think we've got that resolved now. We hope. But there's always a way around when there's a Gil Reynolds involved. So we're getting that worked out. But, you know, when it comes to the content of the daily news hour in the morning, one of the adages I've lived by my entire life and career is have a reason to crack open the mic. if you don't, keep the mic off. Don't just ramble. Now, I've done that, and I didn't mean to early on because, again, it was like, ooh, I need more stuff. So I just do some fill and fluff, which is fine. But you'll see sometimes, like with the Harrison City Council, that you may see that more than not sometimes, because I would rather have something of substance there than not.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things. However, thanks to the 726 show Harrison here, I just totally aped your guest because Patrick, I find to be a fascinating guy, and we're going to talk more. I want to bring him in live in the morning, which of course, you know, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk and take questions and,
And
things
that's
like that.
one thing that all of us have doing the 726 show. You come across the most interesting and fascinating and pearls of the community that otherwise would just be, they'd always be under a rock if you didn't discover them. You know?
Exactly.
And Harrison and this area is a place for people to want to kind of fade into the woodwork, you know, because it's such a relaxed place to live. But there are a lot of people here, a lot of interesting people that you and I both would, and you too, would just love to get out and interview.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you got to figure, man, even going back to 2009 when I did that Ozark Idols thing. There are dogs barking. We're
I
doing a
know,
good
yeah,
show. But what, like with the purpose of the whole Ozark Idols thing and the Ozark's Got Talent thing, the whole purpose of those shows was to give that hidden talent that we had around
You
here
bet.
a voice.
Sure.
And I'd love to bring something like that back again. I mean, it's like 2010, I was doing a different show called Here, There, and Everywhere, and I would find people and I'd put them on the spot, but they didn't know it. Like Anna Marie Sullivan, that used to be over at the Chamber. I had no idea that girl could sing, but there was an event. I think it was, I can't remember if it was a Veterans Day thing or what it was, but she was down at the gazebo. And she sang the national anthem and absolutely knocked it out of the park. I had no clue.
Yeah.
And it's the little things like
Sure.
that, you know, that just is fantastic and celebrates our local color. And
bet.
we need more of that.
Yeah. So your show comes on Monday through Friday from 8 to 9.
Yep.
And you can tune in channel 26.1 or on Cox system, it's 843. And other cable systems on this channel that you're watching here.
Can
So-
you go to the website too?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
stream it
Yeah,
there.
we're everywhere, man. It's like I put you can't miss this show unless you ain't looking. I mean, that's very simple.
Well, good luck. Hopefully we can continue the show, and hopefully it'll be a lot more information.
Throw
that we
money,
can-
America.
Throw money.
Throw money.
That's what we need, money.
But
Thanks,
it's
Jim.
going to keep going, baby.
Appreciate it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
We
guys.
are almost out of time. I want to thank all the guests that have been here, Kim Rawson, and we want everyone to come out November 27th to the hospital. I guess it's upper parking lot, I guess, or the main parking lot there
The
on
main
Main
parking
Street,
lot.
and we'll be set up on a flatbed truck, and we'll have actually a desk there that will be there, and it'll be you, me, and
John Burnside and Jamie Holt
Jamie
will
Holt.
be there
Yeah,
joining
we'll all
us.
be there, and we'll be having fun doing the live broadcast of the parade. If you can't make it out, you could watch it live, 7 o'clock on November 27th, right here on this channel. All right? And
All
if
right.
you'd like to be a part of our programming here, you can do so by contacting us here at Hometown Television at 400 South Sycamore Street in Harrison, Arkansas. Where the heck am I at? In Harrison, Arkansas, 870-424. No, that's also in Mountain Home.
741-4891,
There
right?
we go. I'll get it straight.
Just listen for the bell we have around Dan's neck.
Ding, ding, ding. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we will see you next time.
So I want
Oh,
to
gosh.
see you